Interesting, there's no mention of any arcade developer, so this must be a homebrew version. Intriguing. Welcome to a Target Renegade, an unofficial sequel continuation thing to the game Renegade. And I've already covered Renegade on the channel and I was a bit harsh on it, but it was justifiable. And looking at a Target Renegade from a graphical and sound point of view, it beats Renegade hands down. But it pains me to say that despite the shortcomings of Renegade, it is still the better game. Hard to believe, isn't it? But it is the truth. The story is about the same as in Renegade, girlfriend, blah blah, go risk, blah, all that stuff. We've heard it about a billion times by now, even back then. Still, of course, you load up your trusty fists and tie your shoelaces so you don't trip over your own feet and go out and get beaten up by everything that moves. Because fighting back is hard to do. You have a punch, you have a kick, and you have a jump kick, and while the animation of each is somewhat decent, the hit detection only happens on certain parts of the animations, which means that if the enemies are moving into your punch range too early or too late, your punches do not connect. Lovely. Much like in Renegade, the best way to jump kick people off motorcycles is to wait for them to drive past you and jump kick them in the back. Don't worry about that enemy, he's busy. The thing is though, that jump kick has virtually no use outside of kicking people off motorcycles. I think I spent a total of about 40 minutes playing this game and I managed to get one jump kick to connect on a non-driving enemy. Yeah. Anyway, now I got the baseball bat, it's time for some payback, isn't it? No, it isn't. When you are fighting multiple enemies at the same time, they will all be drawn to the level you are on like absolute magnets, and trying to avoid getting held by one of the enemies while the other one beats you senseless is virtually impossible. Ideally you would want to try and get rid of one of them at a time, but it is unfortunately a lot easier said than done. Aha, success! Managed to be 2 of them, but of course more coming. At least my issue with Renegade was the fact that it wasn't very generous with timing, with the timer, but at least in this game you have plenty of time. Unfortunately, you have far too much time because you've never lived long enough to see the timer run out. Let's try a game with sound effects on, just to showcase it. If you look at the bottom of the screen, you have your score, the level you're on, the time, and a very encouraging message saying good luck. You will need more than luck to play this game, but never mind, we appreciate it. In the middle of the screen, for some bizarre reason, they've decided that it would be cool to have an indication of the hero's face when reacting to getting punched or kicked or smacked with a baseball bat. To the right of that is your endurance bar, and underneath the endurance bar you have your lives. But of course, if you pay attention, you will see that if you get held by one enemy and hit by another, your endurance bar will drain like a bathtub where you pull the plug. And because all lives are connected to that endurance bar, it will just drain your endurance bar costing you lives, and because there's no knockdown between losing lives, you will not get a break from being held. Whereas in most of the fighting games, if you are held by someone, you lose a life, your hero will keel over, and you reset somewhere on the screen, but not in this game. But you see, that's not the best part. The best part is coming up here. Look at this guy. We now have 800 points. You get 100 points every single time you punch an enemy. And we are gaining 100 points for punching the enemy. We're even getting the sound for punching the enemy. But he's not responding to the fact that I'm currently trying to punch his guts out. So, for some interesting reason, if the enemy can't hurt you, you can't hurt the enemy. Just look at the score for it. And the sound effects for punching and hitting him, but you're not doing any damage. This guy will end up taking a total of 60 hits before falling over because he's invulnerable. I have often with these games wondered how how something that poor could bypass a quality control, and the answer to that is very, very simple. There was no quality control. You know what? Someone who are not interested in gaming, have no intention of ever playing a game, no desire whatsoever, hates beat 'em ups, hates everything concerning gaming, would have spotted the flaws in this game within 30 seconds. The design decisions, the execution, it just reaches a level of stupid I did not expect was possible in a computer game. But you know what? Every single time I cover a game that is of doubtful quality, I assure myself that I've probably scraped the button, and then I find something that proves me wrong. I suppose there is an argument for the fact that I could possibly just try to get around the absolutely glaring issues with this game, but you know what? I just couldn't be bothered. Honestly, I had no intention, interest, desire, or any other word you could find for it to keep going through the agony of playing this game. And the best part is, and there's a Renegade 3, a game where Renegade completely went off the rails. I may be covering that at some point once I've managed to recover from playing this game. So on that note, I'm going to say thanks for watching, take care, and see you next time. Bye bye.